When it comes to the sanitization of pools, there are two common sanitizers, chlorine and bromine, but over the past decade a third sanitizer has become a lot more popular. This sanitization system is the salt sanitized pool, or more commonly known as saltwater pool. First, let's clear up what a saltwater pool is. A common misconception is that a saltwater pool is a non-chlorine pool. A salt pool is actually a pool that is sanitized by chlorine. The chlorine is created from the salt going through the salt cell or generator through the process of electrolysis. Next, let's discuss how the salt system works. There are three components to the salt system: the control box, the power center, the salt sensor, and the salt cell or generator. The control box for power center reads the salinity level of the pool from the salt sensor. It also controls how much chlorine is produced. The amount of chlorine produced is based on time. For example, setting the generator to 25% means that it is producing chlorine for 25% of 1 hour. Finding the right percentage setting will require testing and adjusting until a proper chlorine level of 2 to 3 parts per million is achieved and maintained. The control box powers the salt cell. Once the cell has power, it charges metal plates inside the salt cell. As the salt water passes through the cell, it produces chlorine through the process of electrolysis. Electrolysis is adding energy in the form of electricity to a compound to break its chemical bond, returning it to its basic components. In a saltwater pool's case, breaking salt's chemical bond to create chlorinated water. When the water passes between the charged plates of the salt cell, the saline is transformed by electricity traveling between the plates into chlorine and hydrogen. The chlorine and hydrogen gas off and rejoin the water, becoming chlorinated water. Two factors that must be met to produce chlorine are having a proper salinity level that's required as per the make and model of the system, and to have a water temperature of 74 degrees Fahrenheit or greater. When testing and balancing a saltwater pool, there are not many differences to traditional chlorinated pools. You must still test and balance chlorine, pH, total alkalinity, calcium hardness, and stabilizer on a weekly basis. The one difference when it comes to testing is that you have to test the salinity level. If the salinity of the pool is low, add pool salt to the water. To do this, pour the salt directly into the pool. Make sure there are no clumps of salt at the bottom, and always brush the entire area of where the salt was added to ensure that the salt dissolves. Testing for stabilizer or cyanuric acid is often overlooked with salt pools, but is actually more important than testing it for a traditionally chlorinated pool. The reason for this is that a traditionally chlorinated pool uses stabilized sticks or pucks to chlorinate the water, which help maintain the stabilizer level over the course of a season. Salt doesn't have stabilizer built into its compound, therefore testing and adding stabilizer is essential. The pH of saltwater pools also have a tendency to be higher due to the process of electrolysis. This may require more frequent balancing. Keeping the pH in the ideal range of 7.4 to 7.6 is important for both the pool equipment and the finish, as well as the bather.